Right. So, connecting to our breath this evening, maybe we start in our easy pose. You can start just seated like that, or maybe you want to start in our hero pose, which is when you kind of sit on your heels. And if you can't sit on your heels, you could sit on some blocks. But just starting maybe seated tonight rather than on our backs. So however you want to do that. Just imagine a nice long stacked spine. I'm just going to chant the mantra Om on my exhale, so feel free to join as we just come into our breath and come into our space together. Om. Allow that vibration to just take us deeper within. An invocation to our Yang Yoga practice this evening. Now from our seated position, let's come into our first Yang Yoga shape, which is our dragonfly. Coming onto the sits bones if you're not there already, bringing the feet apart, as wide or as close together as you'd like, and then letting those feet just fall out or in. And then maybe you just let those hands slide down the leg, bringing the chest forward. You can bring the hands out in front, or they can rest near the foot or the ankle or in front of you. We're going to give ourselves a nice 4 minutes here. I know I usually don't say how long we're going to be anywhere, but I'm just letting you know that it's going to be, time here to sink in. So really let yourself go here, that we're not going to be rushing out of this. And if you want, you can bring blocks to stack and you can rest your head on them if that feels better. Or just let the head hang and allow the weight of the head to kind of give a little traction to that spine. Exhale and inhale. Allowing the entire back of the leg to be on the earth. Maybe you want to bring a blanket roll under each knee, which might give more sensation to the legs, or it might give you more sensation in the back. And just allow yourself to be here. And we've been speaking of change and allowing that energy of change into our space this week throughout our different classes here and in our collective intention as fall is upon us. And so we have an offering from Rainer Maria Rilke from his Sonnets to Orpheus. Be ahead of all party, as though it already were behind you, like the winter that has just gone by. For among these winters, there is one so endlessly winter that only by wintering through it will your heart survive. Be forever dead in Eurydice, more gladly arise into the seamless life proclaimed in your song. Here, in the realm of decline, among momentary days, be the crystal cup that shattered even as it ran. Be, and yet know the great void where all things begin. The infinite source of your own most intense vibration. So that this once you may give it your perfect essence to all that is used up and to all the muffled and dumb creatures in the world's full reserve, the unsayable sums. Joyfully add yourself and cancel the count. Let's come into our first rebound. Allowing the silence to envelop us. To be held in this silence. Just as a mother cradles its sleeping baby. Allow yourself to be held. And now here in this silence and this stillness, if you have an intention for your practice this evening, perhaps related to this idea or this theme of change, of changing seasons of knowing the great void where all things begin, preparing for this season of fall. Just bring it into your space. On your next exhale, just imagine that we're all offering our sankalpas together, and that we're all cultivating each other's and our own intentions, our collective energies. Let's breathe in one more time. We'll exhale the mantra Om just on your own pace. Om. And as you're ready, just gently kind of rolling up to one side and coming up to seated. Then we'll come into our deer pose. So we'll bring our feet about mat distance apart, and then we'll drop the knees over to one side, and then we'll kind of lean back on our forearms or on a bolster. We're going to the right side first, so you'll probably feel it more in that left quad. So letting those knees fall to the right, coming back onto your bolster. Maybe you just have your arms behind you. We're all going to feel that opening and expansion at different places in the lean back, at different levels of the lean back. And if that's not a comfortable position for you, then our other option is to come onto the belly and bring that left heel towards the glute. So if that's more appealing, then go ahead and do that. Otherwise, have those knees to one side. The left knee might be near that right ankle. And we'll just lean it back. You can soften your gaze, closing the eyes maybe. And as we come into this and rest in this stillness, if that silence is a little too challenging, perhaps your phrase for the evening can be, I am aware that I am breathing in. Then your exhale, I am aware that I am breathing out. I am aware that I am breathing in. I'm aware that I am breathing out. And so on and so on. Perhaps you use the mantra Om instead, if that mind needs a little anchor tonight. Just dropping into the idea that there's a time for everything. Everything has a season. give ourselves a deep exhale, maybe a deep Om. And then as you're ready, bring those knees up, bring the feet to the floor, and then bring the legs long, coming into your rebound. And allowing this sound of silence again to envelop us in a nurturing manner. Just like that mother holding her sleeping child. Allow yourself to be held here in the stillness and the silence. Let's inhale. Exhale, Om. Om. Inhale. Exhale. Om. Inhale one more time. And exhale. Om. Now on your next exhale, roll over to one side. We'll press up. We'll come onto our hands and our knees. We're going to come into our water bug. So come into table, kind of with those hands underneath the shoulders. Send that left leg out to the side. So that left foot is on the floor. And then walk the hands forward and melt the heart down. So it's like puppy dog arms, and that left leg is out to the side. And we'll sink down into this shape. And the sensation, the focus is on this left extended leg. It's not on this bent leg here. It's on the left leg. Breathing in and out into this water bug. Your forearms can be on the ground. Maybe your hands are in prayer, or they can be apart. Arms can be lifted. Any variation with the arms. Melting the heart down. Maybe the right hip is directly over that right knee, or far forward with the hands. We open with our dragonfly with the feet apart, which targets those meridians that run along the inside of the legs, such as the spleen and the liver. So this left leg straight is accessing the liver and spleen meridians. That spleen meridian having to do with being empathetic, but not bearing everybody's burdens. And also not being a martyr. So we're finding that balance where we have that empathy, where we can safely empathize with others. So we're drawing in empathy for ourselves and for those around us, even in this space tonight. Perhaps finding a rhythm to your breath. Maybe that mantra Om, giving your mind that path to be in. And now just lifting up maybe onto the palms and bringing the hands towards the knees a little closer. You can bring that left leg in and you can come onto your stomachs maybe. Or maybe you come onto your back, but come into that rebound and allow the legs to come neutral. That spine to be neutral as well. Be ahead of all parting, as though it already were behind you. Let's breathe in. And perhaps exhale for Om. And now if you're not on your stomach, go ahead and roll over to your stomach. With your legs, tops of the legs on the earth, the stomach, bring the arms out like a Y. And then just lift the heart and the chest. And maybe you bring those hands a little closer, coming into our seal pose. And so Laura, for you, come into caterpillar, bringing the legs wide and or close together in front. And fold that back over, just like that. Maybe you want to lift the hips with a blanket or something, but just fold forward into your caterpillar. And that's an offering for everybody if you want to do that. Otherwise, come into your seal. Yeah, and lock out those arms. We don't want them bent, we're going to lock them out, unlike our vinyasa class. Our yin class, we're locking those joints, and that's what is going to stimulate those fibroblasts to create hyaluronic acid to lubricate the joints. So lock out those shoulders, lift the ears out of the shoulders, and allow yourself to come into this seal. Those hands can be as far away from the hips as you want. That's just going to change the depth of the back bend. And maybe you breathe, and with an exhale, you Om. If you're in seal, notice if you're clenching the glutes and let those glutes relax. And that will allow the low back to relax a little more. And exhaling maybe into release, or exhaling maybe into a little bit of relief, whichever word lands with you tonight. Now from here, just gently offering a bend to those arms and lowering down. Yep, good. Coming out of your caterpillar, yes, lifting up and maybe coming back into your back. If you were in your seal, let's roll over onto our backs and hug the knees into the chest, maybe just for a breath or two. And then go right into that rebound. And let the rebound kind of uncompress or decompress that low back. Maybe a deep breath to release or relief. Maybe noticing where you feel that chi in the body. If it has a direction of movement, if you feel a side to side or up and down like popcorn, or maybe from the heels to the shoulders, up and down. Let's breathe in. Exhale. Oh. Inhale. Exhale. Oh. Inhale. And exhale. Oh. And then as you're ready, you can gently roll to one side and come up. We're gonna come into deer pose. So maybe if you usually do deer on your back, just stay on your back and bring those feet that distance apart. And we're gonna drop them over to the left side this time for deer. If you like to start on your bolster, or you need to have those hands behind you, just come up, bring the hands behind you, drop those knees over to the left, and come into your deer pose in whichever way makes sense for your body and is supportive to you. And again, with the knees over on the left side, or towards the left side of the body, I should say, you're going to feel that in the right quad. And if you don't feel it there, maybe just wiggle your hand. And the variation of this is to lie on the belly with that heel towards the glute and pull, or not really pull, but rest the hand on the foot. And you can always bring a block or a blanket underneath that quad to lift the quad up for a deeper stretch. Otherwise, you can find that deer pose. And just dropping in again to the stillness. To be and to know the great void where all things begin. the infinite source of your own most intense vibration. So perhaps chanting Om and feeling that vibration within yourself. Om. Om. So from wherever you're at, whether on your back or your belly, if you're on your belly, release the foot to the leg with control, or to the floor. If you're on your back, just going to bring those knees towards the sky, the feet to the earth, and then walk those feet long. If you're on a bolster, come onto the floor, removing the bolster, letting your entire body be flat and on the ground. Just resting here on the earth. Allow the silence to be a comfort, the stillness to offer peace. Maybe you want to place a hand on the heart and a hand on the stomach. Feeling that connection between breath and movement just as we rest. And then as you're ready on an exhale, maybe bring one foot to the earth and roll over onto that opposite side. We'll come up to our tabletop, to those hands and knees again. Give yourself space on the right side because we'll walk our hands forward, or you can bring the leg out to the side first. So bring that right leg out. The left knee is bent, it's maybe underneath the hip. Walk the hands forward. You can lock out the arms if you want. You can bring the forearms down. But coming into this water bug, and again, our focus is on that right leg, that straight leg. And drop in here. We mentioned our spleen and our liver meridians earlier, and so here we are, supporting those again. Maybe the liver releasing anger. Maybe it's stirring up creativity, depending on where that energy is in the liver. Just allowing their energy to move. And perhaps bringing that awareness to your intense vibration within, chanting the mantra Om, or maybe just saying it to yourself and feeling that mantra, that it resides within you. Notice if you're flexing that right quad, and just allow that right leg to relax, even though you're keeping that right foot grounded, but don't clench the muscles in that right leg. Yeah. Good. So now just gently come into your rebound, whether on the stomach or on the back. Yeah, maybe drawing the leg in first, the hands come in, and maybe sighing as you come into your rebound. Allow this to be that sweet, nourishing rebound. Feeling ourselves as part of a greater whole. Everybody connected. Not just with our rebound right now, but with that Om that resides within us, that never goes away. That connection to source. Whether you think of that source as God or Yahweh or universal consciousness. this connection. Now on an exhale, let's bring our knees towards our chest and then maybe our thumbs and peace fingers find the big toe or the outside of the feet. We'll come into a happy baby. Maybe exhaling and sighing into the back body. And exhale. Maybe relaxing the face, and the throat, the base of the throat, the space between the clavicles, the chest, the stomach, the soles of the feet. Maybe notice where there's effort in the body and allow it to be there. And then see if you can just soften the effort. It's still there. It might even still be the same amount of effort, but our awareness of it is softened, so it's a little less strainful. Be ahead of all parting, as if it already were behind you. Be the crystal cup that shattered even as it rained. Yeah, gently release the hands from the feet. Maybe extend the legs long towards the sky. Let them come to the earth, just making your way to your rebound. Maybe a big exhale with Om on the exhale, like a wave crashing. Dropping in. Let's exhale. Bring those knees over the hips. Let's cross the right leg over the left leg. The arms can come out like a T. And then bring those knees over to the left. So the right leg is crossed over the left leg. And we're bringing those legs to the left for our twisted roots. Your arms can be out like a T. Maybe you have a hand on the side body and on the leg. Just gently coming into this twist. And maybe beginning here to inhale for a count of 4. And exhale for 4. And if you don't want to bring those legs to cross, just stack the knees one on top of another on the left side. Still a twist, but just not with the legs crossed. Notice that the legs are relaxed. Allowing this energy to flow, that gallbladder meridian, the kidney meridian, the stomach meridian. If you want, you can bring arms up overhead, opening up the armpit, the palms, the fingertips. For the remainder of our time in this shape, be breathing into that right lung fully. Thanks, guys. Now you can bring those knees to the middle. You can unravel them, untwist those roots, and let the legs come long. Giving yourself whatever exhale you need. It's a sharp exhale, maybe a long exhale, an om exhale, a sigh, a soft exhale. And on your next exhale, bring those knees back to the middle, low back on the ground, cross the left leg over the right, arms out like a T to help you drop those knees over to the right side with control. And again, those knees don't have to cross, the legs don't have to cross. You can just stack the knees and bring them over to the right side. And you can keep your arms out like a T as long as you want, bringing them up overhead whenever you want, allowing yourself to receive what you need here. Marianne Yoga, a practice of reception, of receiving. Allow yourself to drop into the folds of silence. Nice job. Now untwisting those roots, releasing those arms, coming into our final rebound of Shavasana. So rebound first before you maybe get your Shavasana props out, giving yourself a moment to have a neutral spine, a neutral chest and arms. And then whenever you're ready, get those bolsters arranged however you like them for your Shavasana. Let's give ourselves 3 cycles of breath. And on the exhales, we'll chant Om together. And then for our Shavasana tonight, I will chant the mantra Om 108 times. And then we'll rest on the vibration of Om together. Let's inhale. Exhale. Om. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now allow yourself to drop into your Shavasana. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Let's breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and exhale. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om.